What's up guys, this is DarkArmedAlliance, and today, before I take the deck profile, I want to give you guys an important message. I'm sorry. I made a really bad Shaddoll deck profile about a month or so ago, and I've been getting a lot of dislikes on it, and I understand that I really didn't do that great of a job on it. Firehand shouldn't have been at the consistency or the number it was at. Icehand shouldn't have been at 3. There's just a lot of things about the deck profile that just weren't quite right, and so I've been playtesting with this deck a lot, and I've tried a lot of different Shaddoll builds. I've tried prediction Shaddolls, which seem to be the best. I've tried trap trick Shaddolls, which seemed a little slow, but it was more control based. Don't get me wrong, it's a great deck. I have another deck profile up there that was really good. Those Shaddoll trap tricks. I've tried pure builds. I've tried all the different builds I can think of, but honestly, prediction Shaddolls I've seen the best. So, without further ado, guys, I'm sorry I made a bad deck profile. It happens from time to time, but I think I've redeemed myself with this one. This deck is a OTK control, get in your face. I'm gonna eat your face, stupid fast with this deck, with blowing up your board and flip flopping monsters, and it's just crazy. Without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So, first off, I'm playing 3 copies of the Prediction Princess Shaddoll, or not Prediction Princess, it's not Shaddoll, the Prediction Princess Ritual Monster, which is really neat. When it's ritual summoned, you can special summon one during the end phase of the turn special summon, that is. You can special summon one flip effect monster from your hand or graveyard. And its other effect is during either player's turn, you can activate one or the other of the effects. You can either flip a monster face down or flip it face up. So you can get your flip effect monster's effects off. So, key card of the deck, I have a combo, so I'm going to sit it up here to the top. So, let's get into the Shaddolls. I'm playing 2 Shaddoll Beasts, which is better because I wasn't playing any in the last build. But when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card, or when it's flip face up, you can draw 2 cards, and then discard 1. 2 Shaddoll Dragons. When this card is flip face up, you can target a card your opponent controls and return it to the hand, or when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can destroy a spell or trap card on the field. I had to remember, like my brain farted. Then 3 copies of Squidmata. When this card is flip face up, you can destroy a card or destroy a monster your opponent controls by targeting it. When it's sent to the graveyard, it's a Foolish Burial for Shaddolls. 2 copies of Hedgehog. When this card is flip face up, you can target one Shaddoll. You can add one Shaddoll spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. When it is sent to the graveyard, you can what's it called? What's the word for it? Add a Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand. But the thing about these to remember is when it's sent to the graveyard, when I say that, I mean by a card effect, not by battle. Then, 2 Shaddoll Falcons, which I bumped down from 3 to 2. I also bumped down Hedgehog down to 2, because it's not so focused on that. When this card is flip face up, you can special summon a Shaddoll monster from your graveyard to your side of the field in face down defense position. Also, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it back to the field. So speeding through those Shaddolls, I really want to get onto this card, which is probably the star card of the deck along with the Ritual Monster. I'm playing 3 copies of Pot of the Forbidden. With Pot of the Forbidden, if it's flip face up, you can draw 2 cards, or you can return all spell and trap cards on the field to the hand, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, or you can look at your opponent's hand and shuffle 1 card from their hand into the deck, but you can only activate 1 of those effects per turn, which is super neat and super, super cool. But the thing is you use this to make this, and then you special summon this at the end phase, and at the end phase you chain this effect, flip this back up, draw 2 cards, and during your opponent's turn you flip it back face down. So you're getting 2 effects off, and if they attack into it, you destroy all cards they control. Next turn you flip it back down, and then you get your normal flip back up, you destroy all cards, or all spell and trap cards they control, and you go nuts with the 27 beater and a 2000 beater. If they didn't destroy your board, they're going to lose with this combo. for real. But let me get those out of the way, and let's get into some of the other cards. So this is how you're going to get the majority of the time your ritual monster out. You're going to normal summon Spirit of the Fall Wind, which Spirit of the Fall Wind's effect is, if this card is normal summon, you can add one flip monster from your deck to your hand, which you're normally going to search out this and use this and Pot of the Forbidden to make this with the ritual card. So it's really a good combo to do it that way. Because if you do it that way, you have your full requirement and actually a little bit over your requirement to make your monster. And to search out your ritual monster and the ritual spell, I play 3 copies of Manju, the 10,000 Hand. When it's normal summoned or flipped face up, you can add 1 ritual monster or 1 ritual spell to your hand. So I either add this or the ritual spell, whichever one I'm lacking. Then something that's really surprisingly good, 3 Kornrama. It's a really neat card. Like, listen to this effect. Flip, special summon 1 level 3 or higher flip monster from your hand or deck and face down defense position. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn. So, you play this face down and you're going to search out, it says level 3 or higher. So you can search out Pot of the Forbidden again and get it out. So you can get multiple Pot of the Forbiddens out on the board. And if you ever get one dead in hand, you can always fuse it away for Shikanaga. And I just messed that up. I am totally sorry, guys. I will fix that real quick. Then for the tuners, I play 1 copy of Glow Up Bulb. Glow Up Bulb is really, really good in this deck because it allows for synchro plays. That's really a good card because it allows you to return it to the hand. Or not return it to hand, return it to the field, which is really, really neat. Jet Synchron, which allows for even more plays for days. And 1 copy of BLS. Both of these allow you to go into Trishula, which is really neat. Blackluster Soldier, you banish one of either your Prediction Princess card right here, or your Manju of the 10,000 Hand, and you go for BLS. So you have at least 6 targets to go into BLS. But that's it for the monsters. Let's go into the spells, because I only play 1 trap in the deck. I play 1 copy of Foolish Burial, which is super neat, because you can send any of your Shaddolls to the graveyard, any of them, and they get their effects off. Or you can send your Pot of the Forbidden to the graveyard if you can get out your ritual monster without it, and bring it back at the end phase. I play 1 copy of El Shaddoll Fusion, because with El Shaddoll Fusion, it gives you so many synchro plays, or not so many synchro plays, so many fusion plays, it's ridiculous. And it's a quick play, so you can activate it on your opponent's turn. I play 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion, because Shaddoll Fusion allows me to go into so many fusion plays, because if my opponent special summons a monster, it allows for so much push. Then I play 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Right, which is the new really awesome card that they fixed Preparation of Rites in a way that I feel like they did. Because with this card, it says add 1 ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. And add 1 ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand whose name is listed on a ritual spell card. You can only activate 1 of Pre-Preparation of Rites per turn. So, this gets out this and your ritual spell card from your deck off of 1 card, which is friggin' ridiculous. So it's a +1 and it searches out exactly what you need to get it out, which is friggin' ridiculous. It's amazing. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. But at the same time, it doesn't activate with like Necros or stuff like that don't specifically say the name of the monster on the ritual. So this card is a must at 3 if you're going to play this deck, and is the reason I built this deck. It made the deck work. It just made it fast enough to work. Then I play 3 copies of the, well, not that. I play 3 copies of the Prediction Ritual, which is super neat. It only special summons this one. This card can be used to ritual summon the Prediction Princess Ritual Monster. Also, you must tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal 9. or more. Then it has a special effect. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card, add one Prediction Princess monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher also on top of this. So it makes it a really neat combo and super, super neat combos that you can go off with that. And then finally, the last card that I play in this deck is Shaddoll Core. You do need the one core, and if you can flip this face up and use this, this is your full requirement for your prediction ritual, if you can get it off. So that's the main deck. So let's get into the extra deck, guys. Without further ado, let me slide these to the side. So for your fusions, you're going to play 2 copies of Winda. I've thought about bumping it up to 3, but with some of the cards, I know, Winda, she's beautiful. She's my favorite. Besides our Lord and Savior Construct, which is currently banned. And I'm really sad that Construct is banned because I am playing this. I'm actually playing 7 light targets in the deck, so I could make Construct really easy in this deck. Like, bring it back to 1. Like, it wouldn't be broken at 1 at all. I think on the next ban list, they might bring it back to 1 because it helps out so many anti-meta decks at this point, and I don't see Shaddolls even competing anymore. So I don't see why they wouldn't bring Construct back to 1. I think it was an over-harsh hit, and I think that they should bring it back to at least 1, maybe 2 at the most, if we're lucky. But I'm playing 2 Winda because it does slow down my opponent. It slows down me at the same time, but once you get a board established, it really doesn't matter. Then I'm playing one of the water Shaddoll fusions. This does not negate pendulums. I previously stated that it does negate pendulums from special summoning from the hand, but it does not. If your opponent would special summon a monster by using a spell or trap card from the hand or graveyard, it does not work. But it will stop stuff like Call of the Haunted and stuff like that. But it does not stop the pendulum monsters that are going to get special summoned from the extra deck and stuff like that. Then I play 2 copies of Shikanaga because Shikanaga is amazing and it has a big 3,000 booty. And it's still how I can play. Yeah, it has a big, nice booty. And with it being Construct, it's close to playing Construct because the art, it actually depicts her in it, which is really cool. And I really miss Construct a lot. Like, for real. Like, come back, baby. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. It was all our faults that she got banned. Then I'm playing 1 number 38, Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy, which is still a tongue twister. And the way that you go into him is if you have 2 pot of the Forbiddens, you overlay them into him, which is going to be a little difficult to go into, but it is an option if you're playing against a Pendulum deck and you feel like this is the way you're going to slow them down, is to make these and then make this on top of them. So I'm only playing 1 rank 8 because of that. I think it's a good play, but it's not going to happen all that often. 1 Dark Rebellion because I don't want to play the Utopia engine because it's just so tight in the extra deck. So I play this instead. 1 Giant Hand because Giant Hand says nope to a lot of stuff. 1 Castiel because Castiel spins cards back to deck. So it's really good. 1 Emerald because Emerald lets me cycle my cards back into my deck and lets me draw a card, which is actually really good in this deck because I can cycle my Shaddolls back to my deck and then, you know, kind of go off from there. 1 Trishula because Trishula is still easy to go into with this deck. 1 Clearwing because Clearwing is amazing against a lot of decks now. 1 Black Rose because sometimes I need to blow up the board before I'm going to go nuts into my Shaddoll or into my... this should be a Shaddoll. This really should be a Shaddoll because it works so well with them. But before I go into this, I Black Rose the board. 1 Goyo because Goyo helps and I can swing into my opponent and steal their stuff and then fuse with it. And finally 1 Armades. I did drop Jet Synchron, or I think it's Jet Warrior. Is it Jet Warrior? Let me see. Let me find it. That's Jet Synchron. Yeah, I dropped the Synchro that this was for in place for Armades because this is immune to Burying Mirror Force. This is immune to Drowning Mirror Force and all the Mirror Force cards, and those are running rampant right now with Cards of Demise decks. So I am dropping Jet Warrior. But that's it for the deck profile. I think I redeemed myself. I like this deck. I have dueled a lot with this deck, trying to test it and trying to make it. Savannah really has helped me with this deck a lot too, because she let me duel with her Harpies, and at one point with this deck, I beat her in 3 turns with this deck. It is that good. I know it's Harpies that I'm dueling against, not Cosmos or something like that, but this could compete with them. It really could, because of Pot of the Forbidden being so ridiculous. Honorable mentions, you could put in, what's it called? Dark Law in the deck, but I wouldn't, because you can use your Shaddolls to go into it, but that's just kind of personal preference. If you want to get more anti-meta with it, you really could. But without further ado, guys, don't forget to join DarkArmedAlliance and subscribe, guys. But hopes for Construct coming back on the next ban list, and I'm out. See you later, guys.